One thing that I noticed over and over again in teaching guitar students was how often they initiated helping each other learn music. Hi, I'm Harold. I'm a guitar man, 30 years public music educator, 20 years in a jazz band. Now, students talking to each other in a guitar class, that's not going to surprise anybody, especially a guitar teachers. That wasn't the surprising part. What stayed with me was how often they stepped in to help each other. To put a sharper point on this, was these were not things that I assigned them to do. I almost never trained students to help each other or how to tutor each other, and yet they did it anyway. They showed each other riffs, correct fingering. They argued about songs, talked about artists. They'd stop and replay parts. They laughed about mistakes. They would interrupt each other to explain something or to point something out. Sometimes they'd quietly watch and listen to each other play. Sometimes one student would jump in and help another student without that other student even asking them. Sometimes they'd talk non-stop, like a whole class, and sometimes they'd be sitting right next to each other the entire class, practicing in silence, right next to each other. Over time, I was realizing that a lot of music learning was happening in these interactions, not formal lessons, not someone standing up saying, "Okay, students, now I'm going to teach you," just musicians reacting, demonstrating, correcting, observing, listening, giving each other help. And these observations eventually led to the topic of my dissertation on informal music learning and peer music learning, because their interactions changed the way I thought about music learning and teaching. It taught me that sometimes people are not just learning music. Sometimes people are helping each other become musical along the way of learning music themselves.